You've got your new haircut and your lovely green shirt.
I have to show a new haircut off my look. Nice line.
Whoa. You pay extra for that.
The midget Gem Quiff.
You fucking cheeky fucking bastard. Right, I'm going. I am hanging up.
I am out of here in a bit.
Right. Where the fuck have you gone?
I'm outside.
Mate, your quality is gleaming on your phone.
Yeah.
What phone is that?
iPhone.
Right, come on, let's go on the podcast because I've got work in an hour.
Yeah, no worries. Right, welcome back to the Bottom Third podcast. I'm Danny. Joining me is Ricky, Alex, and we've got a guest on, which is Stretch. We're going to go through some admin points, boys, quickly. Me and fucking Alex were having a bit of a fucking mare before. So we're very much so aware of the fact that basically we say to people, obviously on the podcast, oh, go on our YouTube and you'll see this. Or go on our Instagram, but we never actually give the name of the fucking accounts. So I'll do like a little edit here. But if you go on YouTube, the Bottom Third podcast, just type that in on YouTube, you'll find it. And there'll be like a little fucking diagram of all the fucking names and shit. If you already follow us on social media, then we've already got link trees set up. Me and Alex have got our personal link trees with the Bottom Third podcast link tree in there. So it's a link tree that leads you into a link tree. It's like 5 minutes before the 5 minutes before, you know what I mean?
Ricky, I think you've got it on yours as well, haven't you?
Yeah, I have, yeah. How dare you? Yeah.
Oh, fuck that. Ricky admin?
How dare you?
Ricky admin? Fucking hell.
I had it first, you cheeky bastard.
Talk shit. I was the one that made the link tree.
Nah, fucking, all right.
Let's have a look. Yeah, so again, we're not going to have Dits on this podcast in terms of like the fucking text to speech because we've only got 2. We did have 3. What I will say, I'm all for some like dodgy Dits, but there was one that got sent in and I just weren't happy with it. So I just weren't.
Yeah, it was very, very close to the bone, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it involves an underage girl.
Yeah, so not ideal.
Oh shit. Okay, yeah, no, we ain't good with that.
Weren't fun to read. Yeah. What pisses me off was it was Lanks. So
yeah, no wonder you didn't want to read it.
Yeah, so we can't put shit like that out there. I'm all for like fucking about brigadiers, but there's like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a line.
Yeah, there is a line. It's like the prohibited 6 now. We're gonna have to call it.
Prohibited 6.
What else do we want to talk over? Yeah, so mention that. Oh, right, warning order for the Patreon. There is a Patreon out there from when me and Don still had it. Do not subscribe to it because like Don's just taking your cash. I've tried messaging him, he's ghosting me, so he's running away to Fiji with all your cash.
Yeah, people have been on to me asking for I think I'll have to set one up. I'll sort some out.
Yeah, we'll set up. So I don't think we're going to set up a Patreon. There's a thing called Coffee, so it's KO-FI, so it's like Wi-Fi. And basically Patreon take like 20% as like a set thing. So the more you earn, they still take 20%. Whereas Coffee, they take like a £5 subscription monthly off you. So they only take £5, so it works out better for us. So if we were to set it up, we'd set that up. I have looked into this, by the way. So if you run across the Patreon, if you can, just report it, because the more times it gets reported, eventually it gets taken down, and then you don't have to worry about it.
And if people's watching, wondering what the fuck's going on, I'm having a fresh air break, all right? We're only human. It's been a busy day. Lad. Yeah, it's been a busy day.
Can you get eye cancer? Because I don't think that's quite...
You can get well, it's
through smoking.
It's fresh. It's fresh air. It's fresh air. It's not smoking.
I didn't realise you were an ex-Royal Engineer. Fucking all the brickwork and that going on in the fucking background.
Yeah. Mate, you want to see my garden, mate? It is like a building site. But anyway, moving swiftly on.
Yeah, and that's pretty much it. And then I sort of created like a little wish list of guests that I want on. But if we can get someone,
read it out because it's banging.
Right, it's not gonna happen. But the first one is someone that left the military and went into close protection. So that's quite fair enough. But then we want ex-SF. We want someone from the French Foreign Legion. By the way, these are all veterans. We want a bootneck. Someone from the Navy. Ex-RAF Reg. We want Martha. ink core,
Yes.
MI5, and we want a genuine Walt. So if someone out there finds a Walt, I'm not gonna like trim this down and put it on TikTok. If you find a Walt, like say, oh, tell your fucking stories on this podcast, they're quite cool. And then we're gonna try and like fucking
just sort of like
figure him out.
I mean, just sort of like blow smoke up his ass to get him into the room. Yeah. Yeah, I was going to say, he won't just like, oh yeah, I'm a Walt, mate. Oh, come on. Like...
yeah, I was thinking that. You go, yeah, I'm a Walt. I'll come and tell some fake fucking stories for you. Then. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
I was on the balcony. How old are you? 19.
Here's one for you. So, has anyone ever come across a Walt in real life?
Yes. Oh my fucking God.
Go on, tell a story.
Hold on. Before we go on, Tom, we need an icebreaker.
Oh yeah,
we don't know what stretches.
Oh shit.
When did you lose your virginity?
I know who I am. All those nudes that you send us and that. No, I'm joking.
Nudes and that.
Yeah,
new
so,
TikTok at me.
That's it. So I'm Stretch. My real name's Danny. I was in the RLC for 9 years. Did one rent-free tour of Afghan, and then just like your normal shitty sort of camp stuff. So admin, cleaning the front of trucks. Oh yeah, all the camp stuff. And my last PID, I was in the servicing bay, so I had the keys to that. So I just got to work on my cars. I like my cars, as you can see. I'm a bit of a fucking nerd. I bought this Gears of War Xbox in Afghan from the Americans, and didn't know what the power conversion was, and blew the first one up. Told them, "Oh no, it's broken," and then they replaced it. And yeah, it's just little bits, my little skylines and stuff like that. So, yeah.
So you turned into an emu, and not an emu, an emo when you left.
An emu.
An emu. I just had long ass legs and just ran like fuck.
Just fucking ran as fast as fuck.
Yeah.
Speed of 1,000 emus.
I was the only bloke in the unit to do a PFA in sub 5 minutes, mate, as an emu. I'm joking. I was a fat bit.
You know about the Australian Emu War?
The Australian Emu War.
I heard something about this. Holy shit!
So I'll tell you what happened. Right. So basically, after World War One, I think it was World War Two. I can't remember. World War One, I think. The soldiers got back, and basically the government wanted to look after their soldiers. So they went, "Here, look, we'll square you away with some land, like shitty land, you know, where there's fucking no water. It's all like Buckshee land in Australia." They went, "Here's some Buckshee land, grow some crops and that," and they're like, "Sound." So, anyways, they start doing this. The next fucking coming weeks, emus start coming and eating all the crops, so they're fucking fuming. So they're like trying to say, "Look, can we have help? Can we have help?" They reached out to like the defence minister, and he's like, "Right, I'll send some lads with fucking machine guns." And they fucking basically had a couple of squaddies with machine guns trying to ambush the emus, and they were fucking going around. And the emus kept, because an emu can take around 10 rounds before it fucking hits the deck.
No.
So these emus were actually fucking running away and running away from the ambush and getting away. And in the end, they fucking give up. They couldn't beat the emus. So they always say that the Great Emu War, which the Australian would defeat, the Australian Defence Force was defeated by the emus, and that's a true story.
Oh my God. I'm just picturing in my head just like a section of emus going down, and they're just like, like putting a hand up to stop before they like fucking about to trigger an ambush or something like that. And then they're just like Naruto run away.
They did, because they weren't even running straight lines. They were fucking zigzagging the lot to fucking avoid enemy fire, mate. They were fucking.
So what you were saying is they were airborne. They move fast, stay low, and all that. Just
what fucking year was this?
Emu Airborne Division.
It was quite some years ago.
Why weren't we fucking riding emus in Afghanistan? We take fucking 10 rounds, like, do you know what I mean?
just get inside an emu. They're like
and fucking mastiffs and fucking jackals and that. I could have just fucking had emus.
Get rid of the fucking Kevlar plates, emu plates.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure how blast-proof emus are though.
I know.
I mean, think about their legs. They're really, mind you.
If they take it, what I'm thinking is, so if you're a little bit sick of like rat packs or whatever, and one does blow up, well, it cooks the emu as it's flying through the air. So if you catch it before it hits the deck, man, you ain't having no sandy chicken. You get me? So
that
maybe
brings a whole new meaning to roadkill, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, I did digress because you were an emu. But
So yeah, as an emu, at what age do emus typically like lose their virginity? That's what we need to know.
See, I was scared of this question. So I mean, okay, serious question. Do you have to have come? Okay. And that's a serious question.
Right.
What sort of question is that?
Right, no, it's a valid question. Let me break this down, lads. Notebooks and pens out.
It absolutely is.
So when I lost my virginity in Winston's, I didn't come. I went the full half-hour session, right? But I was pelting the full time. I had to go back the next weekend. I got another brass, pumped her for half an hour, still didn't come. So the same instance, I was like, right, let me try another one. And I went another half an hour and still didn't come. It wasn't until I went on Christmas leave from Harrogate that I pumped a bird and finally came.
You know what? You brought a memory back there. I was in Spain doing like this. Before I went to Afghan, I was doing like a bit of like repping just for a couple of weeks with my mate who had a bar out there. Anyways, I kept pulling different birds and axes. It's lads holiday kind of thing. I pulled this French bird and I didn't come, so she started shouting at me in French and I couldn't really understand her. And she's going like he's shouting blah 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 blah. I don't fucking know what to speak. And then she's like, "Why you not kapoof?" I'm like, "What? You not kapoof?" And I'm like, "Sorry, I'm sorry. I'll come back tomorrow sober. I'll come back tomorrow sober and I'll try and kapoof."
It's the gabagoo,
So go on. What age?
Right. So, okay, 15 in a park, and then I got chased off by chavs. Yeah, so that's why I didn't come, because I heard them shouting, because it was a chav lass that I was with, and I'm there in my new rock boots, my big baggy ass trousers, a Cradle of Filth t-shirt, which if you don't know what they look like, I will show you in a minute, because I've got one in the cupboard. And yeah, I just hear them, long ass black hair, and just hear him shouting and all the rest of it. So I pull out and fucking absolutely Mac fucking 10 across a fucking field, mate, over a wall, rip the Johnny off, threw it under a car and fucked off. So that was my experience, and I was worried about that fucking question, but I'm glad we've got that out of the way now, gents. I feel like we're a bit closer now.
We are. We're definitely close.
Going back to the Walt then, so tell us about when you come across a Walt.
Okay, so it's happened to me personally twice in the same area. So like I'm into my cars and stuff like that. I go to like meets to see my friends and all the rest of it. And so there was one guy. Oh my god, like it's just so fucking stupid, right? So he knows who I am. He knows my background and all the rest of it. And he tried telling me that he was in. And when you meet someone who says that they're in, you're like, oh, are you in? Oh, this, that, the other. And he told me he was in the Royal Anglian. I was like, all right, cool. Where were you posted? And he's like, oh, Aldershot. And I'm like, okay. All right. So yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I was
Royal Anglians have never been posted to Aldershot.
Exactly my point. So I thought, right, something's not making sense here. So I asked him what he did in the infantry. And so we've got two infantry bods here. Can you confirm or deny if there is a like a role opposition of scout sniper? Those exact words, scout sniper.
Scout sniper.
Right. Okay. Cool.
I can deny this. I can deny this claim under scented candle. You have to swear an oath of allegiance to.
Sanity pad. That's it. It's an American thing, isn't it? Right.
It sounds
so telling me that it was a scout sniper in the Royal Anglian posted in Aldershot. I was like, oh, where did you do your basic then? And he goes, oh, it was somewhere in North Wales. And I'm like, there's no army training regiments in North Wales. Do you want to try again? And he was like, no, definitely there. So, all right, where did you do your selection then? I said, oh, down in Cambridge. And I'm like, you don't do selection in Cambridge. He said, oh, it was just a couple of us. I went, what? So you were what, reserves or something? And it's like, yeah. And I'm like, well, if you were a reserve, you wouldn't be posted to fucking Aldershot then, you weapon. And I just don't talk to me. I just walked away. And every time it's funny because like sometimes these little car meets have little second locations and stuff like that. And he'll come to my window to tell me where it is. I won't even fucking look in. I'm just like, just get away from me. Stop breathing on me.
Googling it.
So.
Making my airspace.
I've had one where I knew him from school. I think he was like a year above me at school. And anyways, he knew I was in the army at the time, and I was at my mate's wedding, and it was like the afterdo, and we're drinking in the pub and that. And then he just goes to me, he's like, "Oh, Ricky, you still in the army?" I was like, "Yeah, yeah." And he was like, "Oh," he said, "Oh yeah, I was in as well." And I said, "Oh right, were you?" I said, "What were you in?" He was like, and he made a regiment up. It wasn't even a regiment. He was like, the 129 Rifle Regiment or something. And I went, "What?" And I was like, "All right, yeah." And I just thought I'll play along with it to see what he comes out with. And then he was like, "Yeah, I did Iraq and that." And I went, "All right, where were you in Iraq?" And he went, "Oh, I can't remember." Like,
In a city.
Yeah, of course you don't remember.
In a
where you
city
were.
case.
I wish I'd done more digging, but at the time I was quite young and I just fucking let it pass. You know what I mean?
Oh dear. It'd have been even funny if he went, yeah, I was 112th Emu Cavalry.
Go on.
Oh dear.
Oh,
dear.
you should see them fucking emu spiders in fucking Iraq. Man, I need to get a fucking glass of water, mate.
What spiders?
The emu
Camel
spiders.
spiders.
Emu
Emu
spiders. Alright, delayed date, fuck me.
Yeah.
Send again over.
So you was
Right, you got
RLC. Yeah, you was
Yeah.
RLC. What Volvo driver?
Yes.
Okay,
So
did you drive a
what was your
tank?
mate? Yeah.
Wait, what?
Did you drive a tank?
Nah, mate. I wanted to join the Lancers to begin with because Goth Kid and their cat badge is a skull and crossbones. Yeah. And I went into the recruitment office at like 15, just turning 16, and they were like, "Dude, you are way too tall to be getting into a fucking tank, dude. Not a chance."
How tall are you?
You know what?
6'6".
6
Yeah.
who?
Holy shit! You're fucking hell, Stretch.
How big is your cock?
6'6".
So does that explain the name Stretch?
Stretch.
Is that where the
Yeah,
nickname from?
yeah. So I did an NPC military prep course in Wakefield, and they called me Lurch to begin with, and eventually when I got to uni, it sort of like went from there to Stretch. So, and then some sergeant came in, and then he was called Stretch, and I was just called Big Danny T from then on. But then I was like, I've left the army now, I can reclaim it. It's mine.
It's not the worst name I've come across. When I was in the Falklands, I met the lad who was next door, and he come up to me, and he was fucking ugly, right? He was like, he had things like his teeth were all gapped, and he was like face like a fucking, I don't know, like a bulldog chewing a wasp, and he was like, "Oh, I'm fugly," and I was like, "You what?" And I'd never heard the phrase before. Obviously, we all know what it is now, but I was a young lad. He went, "I'm fugly," and I went, "What, fugly?" And he went, "Yeah, fucking ugly." And I was like, all right, yeah, that makes sense. And he actually introduced himself as fugly, but he was the ugliest man I've ever met in the army. He was fucking horrendous, but he called himself fugly, so you can't slag me off for saying it, because he'd come up to me and was like, I'm fugly. You know what I mean? Like, you know?
I did something so similar, right? So we had this new dude posted in, and he kind of looked like the Milky Bar Kid, okay? After a bit of a crack binge. I'm sorry, Downsy, please don't hit me. But so we're all sat in the restroom, and my buddy is a Lance Jack comes in, he's like, "Oi, Downs, staff wants to see you." And I looked at him and I said, "Oi, you can't fucking call him that." Right, as in like defending him. And then he turns to me and he goes, "No, tell him my last name's Downs." I went, "Oh no." Just revealed a bit of a prejudice right in front of this dude that I was trying to stick up for. I thought I was doing the right thing, but no, I ended up just sort of putting my fucking foot in it, mate. I've never slid into my fucking jacket, mate, like faster. I just turtled in that bitch. I was like, "No, mate."
Do you know what?
I don't know if I've told this bit before, but when again, Falklands was just a piss up. It was like the Iron Apple of the army, like for stupid shit that happened. I think I might have told it before, but basically one of the lads, I found some police tape, like a roll of police tape, and I was like, "Oh, fucking happy days. Oh, what can I use this for?" I thought, I fucking got it. My mate was going on a date. I think he had a wife back home, but anyways, what's his name? He was going on a date with some Navy bird or whatever, and so I thought, fucking perfect, because we had single man bunks. So I got fucking police tape and put it across his door, and then written a note. Well, I couldn't, because I'd write like a 5-year-old. I got someone else to write it, and put, "There has been a serious incident in your room. Please contact the Royal Military Police Sergeant," whoever, I made a name up. you know, like I made out there'd been some kind of major event in his room. So then he got back, and I was in my pit, and I could just hear him like reading it, like panicking and knocking on everyone's door, going, "What's happened?" And then I'm howling in my room. And then he ends up phoning he phones the military police, like the military police officer, and he's like, "There's been a major incident in my room. I need to speak to Sergeant whoever." And they just went, "What the fuck are you on about?" I had his fucking eyes out, mate. But he was outside his room for an hour, absolutely flapping, thinking like someone had been, I don't know what he thought had happened, but yeah, it was fucking brilliant though.
Look, I tell you what, dude, I miss the monkeys, man, but not so much the circus. You know, like, god damn, just some of the stuff that we used to do. I actually put up, because I knew I was coming on here, I went onto my own personal Facebook and I put out. So this evening, I've been invited onto the Bottom Third podcast to basically chat shit. However, I've got a brain like a fucking sieve, and I need you to remind me of some of the dumb shit that I've done, or words to that effect. And there's a fucking few.
I must admit, that is the most prepared anybody's ever fucking been.
I know, yeah.
Well done.
Oh, dude, I'm a fucking nerd, man. I mean, look at my shit. I'm an absolute nerd.
I've never met a goth in the army before at Emu.
Oh, I have a fucking story about that, right? So, I just got there. I was 18, and my buddy, I'm going to give him a shout out. His name's Fresh Avocado on TikTok. I know him as Reedy. So, Reedy was posted in a few months after me. I'd settled in. Everyone sort of knew who I was, what music I was into, and all the rest of it. And cool. So one of my buddies is showing Reedy round, and he walks past my door and he goes, "Oi, this is Stretcher's room. Don't fucking come here after dark." And he's like, "What?" And don't come here after dark, because he's like one of them weird goth kids who sleeps upside down. Reedy did not talk to me for 6 months, and I have it on a clip because he was streaming on Twitch, and I said it in his chat, and I got him to tell the fucking story in fucking chat on Twitch. And honestly, like, yeah.
You know what?
I mean, there's a few of us.
With that, we'll insert the clip here now.
So Stretch, the guy who's in my chat, when I first tipped up to unit, I was only 17, and all the lads told me he used to sleep upside down in his room, so I fucking like avoided him like the plague for about fucking 6-7 months. I completely forgot about that. Oh, many years ago that.
There you go. Send me the clip.
Yeah, I'll see it. I'll see if I've still got it. I'll fire it over. I've got Just
that's pretty funny. That.
What's the weirdest surname you've ever heard though? Because we was on that before.
The weirdest what? Sorry.
Surname. Am I coming through properly?
Yeah. Sorry. It's okay. It's weirdest surname. We did have one guy called Alexa Jeff who was from Estonia, but we didn't want to say his name all the time, so we just called him Polish. As you do. But we had a Fijian, and rumor has it, no one could say his first name, so they just called him Ben. Don't know what his first name was. Ben. There you go. Ben. Where's Ben Krusakala? There he is.
Do you know what? That's a fucking valid point. We'll get a Fijian on as well. We'll add to that list. Fijian.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was just going to say, we had a Fijian in the guards.
We'll get to
his last name was fucking wild. I'm not even going to try. But he nobody could fucking say it. So even on like roll call, like the Sergeant Major would just say Fiji. He'd be like, yeah.
Yeah. This one's a bit that this was when I was commanding officer's driver. It's not my date, but the commanding officer was talking in the car, and he was talking about one of his friends. And I think, if I remember rightly, his surname was Willie, but his wife was called Washer. And when they got married, when they got married, she wanted a double-barreled name. And so he then become Major Willy Washer. I don't know how to do that. It's fucking brilliant.
Sounds like a dit. That's got to be a dit.
That was from a commanding officer. And I don't think they can make up stuff like that. But hey, I don't know.
No, I don't know.
Again, last names. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just added like a weird fucking like UK names are so fucking like stupid. Like in Eastern Europe, they're quite simple, like to my mind. So obviously when I first got to battalion and someone called Jolly for the surname, and then someone else was called Savage, I thought, right, so he's happy and he's a fucking lunatic. It's not, it's just generic fucking surnames. And
It's the other way around.
Yeah, well, to be fair, Jolly's a DJ, to be fair. I wonder how he's doing. I'm getting
DJ Jolly.
Kind as well, though.
Just get to the dance floor, you know? That was crap. I'm leaving. I'll show myself out.
Do you not find it weird as well, though, when you get someone whose name's a rank? So, for instance, I knew someone's called Major, so he was a private major.
Yeah,
and
I knew a sergeant.
Yeah, I know a sergeant as well.
Yeah, and you get like a private sergeant or sergeant or fucking, it's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I thought the UK law was you're not allowed to have a surname that's rank. I thought that was the gen anyway.
No, I've seen loads of
There's
people.
no laws on who calls what name. Like,
So
there's
could
no
I?
law on that as far as I'm aware.
So could I call myself Victoria Cross?
No, but you don't
Yeah,
choose your
send it.
surname, do you?
Say again.
You don't choose your surname, it's fucking book G. You just get given it.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying that could I like
Well,
could I
you can
transition?
choose it
Could I transition and become Victoria Cross?
if you really
Yes.
want to, mate. Yeah.
I suppose
dare
you.
you.
It's the 21st century, mate. You can be whatever you want.
You just
We had
no balls
another
me to
dude.
get a
It's
sex
just
change.
reminded me. Oh,
could have
dude,
an
everything's
influence
just
technique, couldn't
flooding back.
Hold on.
Everything's just flooding back to us. We
One
had,
shit day at a time. Go on.
Sorry.
Go on, Stretch.
I had a friend. I won't say his actual name now. But when I got back, he changed his name, and I went down to see him when I came back. I'm like, "You're right, mate," and he goes, "Hey, it's not so and so now. It's Hat." I went, "You what?" He changed his name to Romeo Hat. And this is a fucking gen date. I will fucking eyebrows it right now. I have a chat log of fucking individuals that can back me up on that shit. There was a fucking guy who changed his name to Romeo Hat.
Why
And
did
on the
Fucking
I
brilliant.
don't know, he was just a bit, I guess, a bit tapped. But it turned out that I think he took advantage of some like military charities or something like that. So he's a bit of a shit cunt. But,
I mean,
we've
there
got
was
his
another
name.
dude as well. I'm not going to say his first name, but he lost a bet and he had to change his his middle and his last name to Wellen Dowd.
Well endowed.
Yep.
I mean, I've got a
Good
fucking
lad,
story,
really good
like,
lad.
So it's not as funny as what fucking Stretcher just said, but like, I massively confused the army when I joined up because I've got to change the name deed because my last name Harrison wasn't my original name.
Okay.
My original name was Redfern, and when I joined the army, there was like, "Oh, yeah, here's your, fucking detail, blah 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 blah. Have you been known by any other name?" And I was like, "Yeah." Wanged out this fucking change of name deed, and they was just like, "Oh, well, we don't know what to do with that. It's the first one we've ever had." It probably isn't the first, but it's probably the first one he's ever, the recruiting sergeant or the admin sergeant, whoever the fuck it was.
Back to phase one, mate.
Yeah, and it was just like fucking massively confused. So like, it was just put me in like a holding fucking bit, and I sat there for fucking hours. I was just like, what the fuck? Is this happening?
That's
It's not
Jack.
happening.
It does just go to
You
show
know
how
what?
unprepared the army is for some situations.
You brought back a memory of recruiting centre. So when I was doing my recruitment interview, I went in. I was built like a fucking paper straw. I was absolutely like that. I was about 2 stone wet through. Anyways, I went in. I was only 15 at the time, and I went in, and then it was a second interview. So I had one with like the sergeant, or whatever, and then I was going in with the sergeant major, and he was this big, massive, big, muscly black man. And I'll never forget. I went in, and I was like fucking size of him. He was a big bastard, like. Anyways, he was at me. He's going along, questioning me. His sergeant major typically fucking going at me, and I was fucking petrified. And then then he starts going, "What about black people?" I was like, "What about them, sir?" He's like, "Are you racist?" I was like, "No, sir." I was like, "So what do you think about black people?" I was like, "I don't know. They're black. Like, well, I don't know. What do you say? Like, what do I think about them? I don't know. I was 15. He's like, you have a problem with them? And I said, no, sir, I don't have a problem with them. And he's like, right. He goes, you need to start doing some pull-ups and some press-ups and get some size on you. And I was like, okay, sorry, sir. I was getting told off, mate. Well, I thought, I'm not racist, but imagine you were. I'm not going to say yes. I was fucking smashed my face in.
I've got a similar story actually. When I was at Harrogate, one of our platoon section commanders was a black lad from the artillery, and I can't remember what he fucking did, but he was just fucking us about, like massively fucking us about, and we was all fucking proper snapped, and we was just fucking. Anyway, he fucking gave me a bit of a fucking chew in, and then fucking chinned me off. And I walked into my fucking room, and I think it was like a water bottle or something I had in my hand. And I just fucking launched it because I was snapped because we'd been fucked about. Anyway, next thing I knew, he fucking rattles up behind me. What the fuck is your problem? Is it you racist? You fucking racist? You fucking because I'm black? And I was like, what? No? What the fuck? Where the fuck's that come from?
Do you know what? We had a Fijian, right? There's two topics here. Lads watching this, you can start playing a drinking game because I've noticed Ricky's got a tick when he starts to tell a dit and you just brought back a memory. Anytime you hear that, take a shot. I don't know what my tick is yet, but if you figure it out, whenever I say something that I always say, do a shot. There's your drinking game. You've got
you've just brought back a memory there, like I'm not sure.
So on this last podcast that we was on,
I got like this with my hair just to move it out of my face. Take a shot.
It's weird how it just sits there. I don't understand how you've managed to do that. Pull your hat off. Headdress.
It's a mess, dude. It is a mess.
Go on, remove headdress. Oh, that's not bad.
Wow.
Where's your hairline? Where's your hairline?
Pull your hair back.
Oh wow.
Oh shit!
Not bad for 32, right?
Oh, not bad at all.
Actually looks alright. I don't get it. Fuck off.
Jill's all fucked up in the wind.
That TikTok. You know that TikTok trend where there's like any animal that has like a big long fringe and it's like a song and it's like some emu going like.
Where's to an emu?
Tonight will be the night that I will fall for you.
Man, I did that in Manchester the other day actually.
A few times.
I did that when I was out the other day.
That's all I covers that song, mate. Every time you come my FYP.
my brother had a good one. So he's like, you know, long black hair and all the rest of it. And when he was in Manchester, he was walking up the canal and some little chavvy bitches on the other side shouted at him, "Oh, you fucking sweaty river mosher." And he's like, what do you do about that?
So
you sweaty river mosher, and he's just there like,
so that,
like, what are you gonna do? Swim over here?
That's something we need to sort out as well. So Discord doesn't like loud noises, so it just clips everyone's voices when they were all laughing then. So you could probably hear me clear, but that's a work on point for us. I'm not sorting it now because Ricky's got to be fucking sucking loads of dick in a minute. Or whatever. What do you do again?
Right, handing then train tickets out.
But anyway, back to the mannerism thing. We had a... Say again?
Huh? I was saying, here's one for you lads, right? Tell us a craziest story, like your craziest shag story within the army, like the most like craziest story that you had while shagging a one-night stand while being in the army.
All right, hang on, let me spin this fucking dit first, Ricky. Jesus Christ.
Oh, sorry.
Permisend. No, I was just saying, do you know what? The dit's fucking shit anyway. Right, here's the dit.
It is now.
So when I broke up with my first proper bird, I was in the army. When I broke up with her the first time, I went on fucking Tinder and I matched this fucking bird, and she looked like she'd be alright. She wasn't mega fit, but I thought her body might be alright, so fucking whatever. And it just happened that we got into the conversation of threesomes, and I thought, do you know what? Why not? I've got a mate. We'll fucking spit roast you. So I drove an hour, got there, and when I walked in, I'm telling you, this fucking, because it was like a uni flat, this place fucking stunk. There was 2 hamsters in a box, right? And in the corner, I just saw a Dobby bag, and I thought, oh no. And I was like, what the fuck is that? And she just burst out crying, complaining about her ex. He was like in the Remy or something, and I'm like, oh mate. So obviously my mate stood there thinking, what the fuck have you brought me to here? this fucking fat knobhead crying. And then it was
She's
like,
built like she could take 5 of us.
mate, she's built like a circle, like a full-on perfect circle.
Just a big ham planet.
Like there's no like mattress cover on her bed or anything. Like the fucking like everything's a mess. So I thought, right, let's distract her. Let's have a look at these fucking hamsters or whatever they are, gerbils. And she was like, that one bites, that one doesn't. So I thought, right, I'll stroke the one that doesn't bite. It bites me, and I just reflex, mate, ping. Right across the. She's fucking like this. What have you done? My mate on his little battle phone just sent me a text saying, mate, what are we doing? I look at my phone and I was like, right, we're going to go for a smoke downstairs. We'll come up and we'll start. Went downstairs, we looked at each other and went, nah. Boom, gone. Wasn't quite a sex story.
We'll find it.
I had a story when let me put this window up because someone's going past and I don't want them to hear. Even if it's going public.
No balls, keep it down.
Right, so basically, it's a woman, so I don't want to tell you to hear the story. And basically, she's looking at me now, fuck's sake. So basically, I was on a night out and I come across this bird, and I was like, she's like, "Are you coming back to mine?" I was like, "Yeah, why not? Fuck it." You know what I mean? She went fit and out, but what you got to do to survive. And so I went back to hers, and as soon as I walked through the door, right, it was fucking grim. And I mean, there was dried sick where like people must have had parties and like people had been spewed on the stairs, and there was dried sick on the stairs. And I'm going up the stairs and I'm avoiding all this dried sick, and there's fucking stinking. There was like cat hair and fucking whatever everywhere. Went up and the bed was just completely fucking bonsai, like a fucking actual frag grenade had gone off. It was a telly on a bed, like in a bed. I was like, it was one of them old school box tellies. So I'm trying to make the bed before I shag her. So I'm like pulling all the crap off so I can make the bed. And she had black sheets and they were all minging. And I'm lifting the telly off. I'd lifted the telly off and that. And I just thought, what am I doing? And I still shagged her, but and then I woke up in the morning.
You are a fucking
And I woke up in the morning and I thought, oh, what have I done? I was so ashamed of myself. And I thought, I need to show the lads this. Even though I know I'm going to bully myself, I slightly took pictures of her fucking bedroom and that. And then when I got back to camp, obviously I'm showing all the lads going, I've seen this to win. You fucking horrible man. I'm like, yeah, well, you know,
show
that's
me
what
these
you do.
pictures. Show me these pictures.
I want to. I'm just like, sometimes you put like background noise on, don't you? And I'm just picturing Ricky with his fucking cacks around his ankles, mate, trying to tune in Channel 4. You remember the old tellies when you used to have to tune it in? Just staring his cheeks at me.
Yeah, this was about 2005.
Oh,
years ago. But it was grim. And that to this day is stuck in my head. Like, I think that's one of the reasons I suffer mental health now. I obviously do. It's fucking traumatic.
Ricky snapping up a block job list as his fucking pounded it.
One of the reasons. What do you mean one of the reasons? That is the exact reason you suffer with mental health, mate.
We know why your admin is so bad now, because you've seen that and you've just embodied it.
Honestly,
Sometimes
I just feel like saying, get a fucking grip, or you're on, like, you're giving a fucking room inspections fucking every day.
Just get a stud to a fucking stud at the end of her bed, mate, with a gun hanging over her knees, mate. Just like
she should have been ashamed and started making the fucking bed, but I was there with me fucking naked trying to fucking make the bed and that before I shagging it.
Was she even fit though?
Getting the carpet cleaner out on the mattress.
Get the Hoover out, get the Henry out and that. Before you shag, get the Henry out and that, start hoovering
up. Hang on, babe, I've just ordered one of them. Just ordered a what you call it, one of them wet vacs from Morrison's, mate. Just skiing, blast over.
Duster and that, fucking spray the telly down. Fucking honestly, mate. And I mean, I wish I could show you the image that's in my head now. But honestly, it's fucking grim.
By the sounds of it, I don't want to fucking see it.
Well, the thing is, I want to know if she was fit or not, because if she wasn't fit, then...
Oh, she was all right. But she was obviously gopping because of her... But you lose all sexiness when you fucking haven't washed your bed sheets in 2 years, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like if you can't even do like the basic of maintenance, it's sort of like, how often do you shower?
Yeah.
Obviously, she was clean when I met her. She didn't stink, otherwise I wouldn't have went back.
Was it her birthday?
Yeah, birthday. Wash.
Imperial leather for her birthday finally gets fucking wash.
Here's a train of thought. Right, so Stretch, RLC, plenty of fucking women in the RLC, right?
Oh yeah.
There's questionable, but yes.
Well, yeah, questionable on how female they actually are. Yeah, I understand that, but so like, surely you've seen some fucking horrendous sights in some of the fucking girls. What's it like working with women?
To be
Like,
fair, I mean, I can't think of one lass that actually couldn't carry her own or did my tits in. I really can't. Like, I never dated Greenfleet or anything like that. But
No.
I honestly,
well,
I honestly,
what the fuck is?
Ricky's moving around, mate, like he just caught
Ricky's
some sort
flapping.
of STI from that.
Hold on, we've cast the line. Ricky, spin the dick.
Get it in.
I'm just saying.
Write it down if you need.
I've been with so many. Like when I was at Tidworth Troop at EOD, we had the band. We had the band in. We shared the block with the band, so we had a female band member. So obviously, I just thought, well, she's living in the block, I may as well try and do it. Do you know what I mean? There, and it was on my doorstep. So, but then when I was a soldier, I was an absolute little pest. I'm not like that now. But I used to be a complete little pest. And yeah, I won't get into details.
Alex is giving you that fella hand, mate, that Brecon Point. He's like, oi, lying shit. No, I'm joking. But on the subject of mad, what do you call it, sort of like hookups, one night stands in the military and stuff like. So I ended up, as you say, as you normally do, you match with some bird on Tinder, and I went over to her place. And it was really cool, just chilling, just having a drink and stuff like that. It wasn't anything weird. And obviously, bedtime came around, okay? So get into the bedroom. She cuffs me to the fucking bed, dude. Okay?
I like this story already.
We like it. We already like it. It gets better, I promise. And so anyway, normally when you get like lube or whatever, right? You get like little bottles like that. You know what I mean? And then apply it to the working parts, yeah? Nah, this bitch had like a fucking liter, like 3 liter vodka bottles in Germany. Like this big ass bottle of this shit, mate, with a pump handle. And I'm just laid there, cuffed to the bed. And she's just like, dad, just smacking the fuck out the top of it. And I'm just laying on my back, mate. Just going, fuck, just like everywhere except where it needs to go. Right, so anyway. Do the deed, awesome, mega, never talk again, whatever. Which was a shame because it was a lot of fun, right? So anyway, I've left the army now and I'm sat around my buddies and I get this text out of nowhere. So this is when I was in Bristol, and now at the time I was living back up in Yorkshire, and I get a text just randomly, and it's this girl, and she's like, "You all right?" And I went, "Hello, it's been a minute, blah blah blah," having a chat, and she's like, "Oh, what, it's been a minute, like, what's new and all the rest of it." I said, "Oh, I've left the army, I've moved back up north now." Now, she's originally from the north as well. And she's like, "Oh, I've moved back up north." And I'm like, "Oh, right, whereabouts?" Turned out she's like an hour away from me, right? And she goes, "Oh, yeah, what are you doing tonight?" And I was like, "Send me a postcard." I drove to hers, right? And even more weird shit happened. So we get there, and I don't know what it is. Why do people like being peed on, right? I didn't do it, but we're just there. We're cuddling up on the sofa, having a little chat, and she's got laminate flooring, and she goes to me, "Got laminate flooring there?" I went, "Oh yeah." So you off, mega. It's all right. That if you spill some tomato ketchup on that, and you're putting it on your chips or whatever. And she goes, it's literally just out of the blue. She just goes. "Do you want to piss on me?" I went, "Oh, no, piss on me." Right. So anyway, things start moving in a particular direction, and I've got to bend over the sofa, packing away, mate. And I went to go slap her around the side of the head from behind, right? So I'm open palm, probably about, 60%. As I'm doing it, mate, she's sort of like, the hand comes across, but as I'm doing it, she turns her head, mate, and I end up slapping her right on the end of the fucking nose, mate. Fucking blood starts pissing out of her face, and I'm like, "Yo, are you okay?" Like, I felt so fucking bad. I was like, "Are you okay? Like, what, do you want to stop? Should we just like clean you up?"
Oh,
And
most
she-
important question: did you finish?
You've got laminate flooring. It's all right. Carry on.
Laminate floor.
Yeah, she's got laminate everything, so for the lot. But no, so no, I didn't finish at this point. We stopped, we cleaned her up and all the rest of it. She had a bit of a headache and all the rest of it. Went through to the bedroom.
Not
Next
surprised.
morning.
6'6", fucking hands like shovels.
But wait, there's more. No, so, the next morning, she enjoyed a certain act, and you can get that.
What was that? Mate, this is fucking TikTok. Just
Okay, I'll tell you what. Okay, just for Alex's sake, sucking dick. Okay, she likes fucking sucking dick.
She loves sucking dick.
Yeah, dude, I cannot emphasize how much. By the way, like when you came in her mouth, she said thank you. Like I'm not even joking. But anyway, so I'm there once again, cuffed to the fucking bed frame, and she's there working on me doing her thing. And there's a knock on the door, and she goes, "Oh shit!" I went, "What?" I was thinking it was like an ex or something. It's just fucking Bob Brown. She goes, "No, I forgot the electrician's coming around today." Hey, you what? So anyway, so I literally, yeah. So I'm cuffed to the fucking bed. She's been doing her thing, and she puts a dressing gown on and fucks off to answer the door to fucking the electrician. So fucking Tim from fucking Eon or wherever the fuck he's from can come through and read the pissing meter and do whatever he needs to do. I'm still strapped to the bed. I'm like, if there are any electricals that need checking in here, this is going to be fucking well embarrassing because she didn't even put the covers on me. She didn't love me enough to put the covers on me. She just left me there with my fucking dick and balls hanging free as fuck, and I'm just there like. If the electrician walks in, man, like I can't stop him from getting a camera phone out. I'm fucked.
What if the electrician was a female?
Oh, he's definitely a dude. I didn't feel
Oh.
warm. But
Oh, you're right,
Yeah.
love, yeah. Come check your
I'm
meter.
sure I've seen a video somewhere that started like, "Hi, I'm here to check your meter." I'm sorry, love it. Only goes in centimeters.
You know when pugs try and wank themselves off with their legs. I can imagine you cuffed like this, trying to wank yourself off because you left you. Like a little pug trying to wank itself off its leg.
Because I'm such a goth, I like Marilyn Manson. I have my ribs removed. Now I'm just there like.
Yeah.
Can I just point out that? Can I just point out Ricky is in a random car park? He's just fucking.
I up his phone's connected to his speakers, and everyone on platform 4's just heard that.
No, that woman, you should have seen the way I shout as well. That woman, I shut the window so she didn't hear, and then she was giving me the death eyes when I fucking started telling that story about that bird.
It would be funnier if she couldn't hear you and you made like hand gestures and it was like, she's just looking over and seeing you do all that shit.
What has this podcast become?
I like it.
We did actually have some genuine questions for you as well, but it's just gone down the fucking ship.
I'm trying to fucking nail through some of them. So
Let's try and go through some.
Go on.
I'll do my best.
So yeah, you have a YouTube channel as well.
Yes, so you can find me at Stretch5665 across everything. It's kind of new. I'm still trying to learn and sort of like I'm like literally I edit everything. I create all the images for it. Just everything is me at the moment. So I'm quite proud of myself in that way, in that respect, because I think some of it does look really good. I'm not gonna lie, but in reality it probably looks fucking shit because everything that you do at the beginning is always shit. So
that's it.
But yeah.
I was like SF me when I was in depot, so I was never shit. Special.
What sort of shit do you talk about on your on your YouTube?
So like I noticed that there's a lot of military commentary channels about like, you know, like the whole basic training, and I went down that route to begin with too. But I'm kind of a fucking jokey dude. I like having a laugh and stuff like that. And some of it was like, some of the topics were quite depressing. So I wanted to make a little bit of fun of the military. I think the last one that I'd just done was the annoying things in the military. I put all little snippets of that, thrown them over to TikTok. It's basically just to try and drive people towards the channel, I guess. but there'll be a couple more of those, and it's just going to be like different things because a lot of people they leave the military, they end up lorry drivers as well, so they're probably going to do something on that as well. But it's just literally just poking fun here and there where I can, and anything serious, I'll try and poke fun at it too.
Well, this is the thing. What are you doing now? If it's not going to incriminate you as well, because people die when they jump on the bottom of the podcast. The careers end.
The careers end. Yeah, they're just going to fire me. No, at the moment, I'm on agency. So I'm driving HGV class 1s, just delivering chilled goods, man. It's
Oh shit! Hang on,
easy.
no, so we never fucking got to the as RLC with you drive as a driver. Like, what licenses have you got?
Oh, okay. So I've got everything. I joined the army with nothing, and then went from Cat B all the way up to class 1. Whilst the DST at Leconfield.
I don't even know if we covered it. What? How old are you when you joined?
17.
17. So you weren't through Harrogate.
No, I just missed out on the intake for Harrogate. There was some family drama and all the rest of it. I'm not going to get into it. It's whatever. But I wanted to go to Harrogate. I spoke to Alex about it earlier. I wanted to go to Harrogate. But no, was it you that I spoke to about it?
Yeah.
It was, yeah. And yeah, that didn't end up happening. So I went into the big boys army and got thrashed for 14 weeks before I got sent to Leconfield. Did my phase 2 again. Went in with nothing. Came out with class 1. I had a full hazmat as well. They put you through hazmat. So
do you know what?
Everyone drops shit. Everyone drops shit on the RLC, but you do get some good bits out of it.
You just brought a memory back there.
Have you got your track license as well?
I haven't got my tracks, no.
But yeah, do you know when?
Have a quad.
Do you know when you come across people that are like, oh yeah, I was going to join the army, but then my cat's goldfish's cockroach died, and then then it was 50 years later, and I looked into it, and it wasn't for me. Like, why spin the dit? You don't get credit for like.
I don't get that.
I think it's sort of like they want to try. I don't know what it is with people like that, because obviously they must respect the military to some point, okay? But they also want to be part of that. I think you're going steps in. You say I was going to join, and then you've got Walts, and then I don't know. You've
got upwards, so it's like a fork in the road, isn't it? So it's like I want to join. I joined private Lance Corporal, and then you've got I want to join Walt prison nonce.
Wait, you go to prison and then become a nonce afterwards, or like?
I don't know.
Just try and reel that back in. Like, hang on. Shit! Yeah, no, that.
I don't know the set order of how it works.
I don't know. I've never been part of the Walter committee.
The
Walter committee.
I wanted to join crew. I wanted to join crew. I had one the other day actually. I was fucking.
Oh yes. Send it.
Yeah, I was driving. Where the fuck was I going? I was going over to Manchester to do something, and on the way out of Lincoln down the 46, some fucking kid had spun his fucking car on the dual carriageway, and
fucking hell,
it literally happened like seconds before I got there. Saw all the shit all over. I'm fucking massively over explaining this, aren't I? Basically, I stopped for some kid who just spun his car, and as I stopped, I was in the van, and another van stopped, and then we just got talking, sorted the kids out, got them on the way. And as I was helping this other lad that had stopped, he says, because I had not this one, I had my other fucking Grand Guards top on. He's like, I'm guessing you served then. I was like, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I nearly served the other day, but I nearly served as well, but I've got asthma. I was like, cool.
Nice.
I'm fucking off.
And no, I was going to become a fighter pilot, but I fucking couldn't pass.
To be fair, he was a really nice lad. You know, I don't want to like drag him down too much, but yeah, you know.
We do. Fuck you, guy. No,
listen here, you fucking bellend. Do you know what? I feel like if I had never joined and I'd say that, it would be to seek some kind of like, oh, well, why don't you? Or
Well, no, what? No, the reason why he was saying it is because he's like, because he shook my hand and everything. No, massive respect for you, for you soldiers and stuff. I've got a lot of mates that were soldiers and stuff, and I was like, oh, that's cool. He says, yeah, no, I've got utmost respect for anybody who goes down that line. I was like, oh, sweet, fucking hell, okay. Don't fucking get that very often in Civvy Street. It did sort of fucking take me by surprise.
do you know what you should have said to him?
Get spat on. No,
Well, this is the thing. You should have said to him, right, about face, walk into Domino's and tell them I want a fucking discount then. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I think it's because Domino's is like an American franchise. They don't give a shit, but with that, you think they would give a shit.
We got discount all the time.
50% discount. 50% discount.
Yeah.
Where?
Domino's.
Since when?
Guys, everyone listens to the podcast, 50% discount Domino's with your mod 90, or if you've got like a veterans card now, use
code WALT equals free.
No.
Obviously, you can't afford to eat Domino's without discount. It's like 30 quid for a fucking ham and cheese pizza. Not ham and cheese. Fucking cheese tomato pizza.
Yeah. Do you know what? Right, explain this to me. It's a shit date, but explain it to me. Went to Spoons with my mate, so they had no margaritas, but they had pepperoni.
Surely, hang on, whoa, let's break that down. So a margarita is just a pepperoni pizza without the pepperoni on it.
Yeah. So,
effectively, it's just herbs, isn't it?
Right, so explain to me how when I went up to the bar, how I looked like the dickhead when she was explaining it to me.
Well, do you know what it was?
Yeah. just got that look.
My dad did something fucking similar, right? My dad is he'll say how it is. He's awesome. He's funny as fuck. In fact, he has found a Waltz recently, which I have actual sound. He doesn't believe in texting. He sends voice notes.
Yeah.
And he's he's a fucking twat, Dan. He's a twat. But anyway, fuck, what the fuck was I just on about?
Fuck, that was some Walt, mate.
Your dad found a Walt.
Yeah, my dad found a Walt, but there was something before that.
Some pizza?
Ah, yes. No, sorry. He was, so he went to this like cafe or whatever, and they didn't have any, they said that they didn't have any coffee. And he's like, well, what do you mean? And she goes, the coffee machine's broken. And he goes, right. Well, make us a coffee then. He's like, just because the machine's broken doesn't mean that you can't put some fucking coffee beans into a cup and stir it. That's his point.
Yeah.
Right. She's I can't, sorry, the coffee machine's broken. And he's just like, well, just make us a coffee then. Right, what's the problem?
Got to call yourself a cafe.
Yeah, innit? Fucking TA. What? Fuck.
For anyone wondering why there's a random triangle on my York's top, I used to be part of the snooker team.
And to remind them when they went into a harbour area, it was that shaped.
We used to practice building harbours.
Fucking, even the fucking company fucking pool team. Nice.
That's it. Semi-professional at Anfield, I used to play pool.
You know, I used to be all right, but I think I'd just hit myself with stick now.
Mate, I do that all the time. You can
call it a stick.
Stick.
That's your golf coming out, mate.
I call it a bat, me.
Oh, I'll be going now.
Stretch, have you got any other good major fucking dits about any time in the forces?
Yeah, go on.
Okay. So this isn't actually on my list, but I do remember it, and I look back on it fondly. So, is it bad if I don't know? So we had this Jamaican sergeant, but if I speak like a Jamaican, is that
no? It's fine.
Food?
I won't put it on TikTok.
I think that's what makes it funnier. No. Like, I'm doing it for the comedy aspect. Not. I honestly, I love this man. He was
Stretch
great.
is a racist.
So, I am. No, I'm joking. Zoom in on the face. No.
You know, got M/Dot or whatever he's called. He speaks in Jamaican and he's white. Carry on.
Oh, yeah.
Happy days. Yeah. So, we were drinking in the block party Friday, whatever, and anyway, we decided to run around the parade square naked. So 3 of us got fucking stripped down to the fucking testicles. We literally just left his trainers on, and we're screaming I will not run around the parade square naked whilst running around the parade square naked, which is about 50 meters from the commanding officer's house. Luckily, nothing got done about that. I've got another one now that I've mentioned it. Anyway,
he's got a dit stoppage. I've never seen that before. Double feed.
So the three of us run back in, and we've taken
weapons stops. I'm looking at the dit.
I'm looking inside the brain. You remember another dit? Carry on. So anyway, we run back inside to find our clothes have been taken, and one of the females, Miss Wen, hello, she'd taken our clothes and then locked herself in my room with all of our clothes. So we're just starkers. I'm locked out of my room and all the rest of it, but I'm like, I'm weird and I sleep with all my windows open. So I was like, I've left my window open. I can just climb in because I was on the bottom floor. So I run around the back of the block, past the smoking area, and for some reason, my Jamaican sergeant is stood there. And he sees me just sort of like imagine like, you know, like the running green man that you see in America on the traffic lights. Just me like that, but my dick out. Right, just run past him. Went round the back of the block. I'd climb in the window. My ring piece just climbing over the fucking top. Get in, get changed. She's there, and I go back out. So I go back out for a cigarette, and I'm at the back, and he just looks at me. You all right, son? And he just goes, "You some badass boys, you know." That's all he said. That's all he had to say about it. That's all he had to say about it.
You some badass boys, you know. That is the intro to the podcast from now on. You're some badass boys, you know.
You're some badass boys, you know. Another quirky date as well. I say quirky. It's actually quite disgusting. It's nothing. Anyway, down there.
I saw your fucking brain working.
Stoppage.
Yeah. So obviously, there's different blocks, different squadrons, and all the rest of it. We had the light air detachment, REME, obviously in the block next to us, and so sometimes there was like a little bit of block wars and all the rest of it, but the REME went mental. And when I say mental, they won effectively. One of them decided to shit in a container, bring it over to the block, bang it in the microwave, cook it, and then he dipped his finger in it. I went round, turned all the light switches off. What? So he dipped his finger in this gooey warm poo, yeah, and went round and turned all the light switches off.
Why?
Because.
Okay.
Yeah. It's Thursday. We're bored.
I can see this happening now.
He got fragged, mate, by the RSM. Like, we came out the next morning, all Remies on parade, mate, getting smashed up and down the parade square.
I can see it now.
Should do.
Say again.
So they should do.
Yeah. So I can see it happening now. We're going to spin loads of dits on here. People are going to get ideas. They're going to recreate them in the army, and we're going to get sent in the dits. So we're just dit recycling here. We're just keeping it going.
We'll just be here like when we're 80 or something like that, and it's like, I remember this dit from when I spun it back in 2024, and some silly cunt reenacted it. Oh!
Do you know about the fucking dit stoppages as well? So I remember I was in Cyprus. We were like due to go on leave, and COVID was like still a bit of a fucking nightmare. It was, like, flights were getting cancelled and shit. And I was just walking up to the block, and I could just hear two lads talking. And it's like, you know what it's like, mate. Leaves firing alright, leaves firing alright, leaves stops. I'm like, you know what, that's quite funny. As I carry on walking, I just hear the other one go, upon looking in the block, it appears to be full. And it was just, do you know that little thing that you just hear? You're not even part of the conversation.
You apply that to all sorts, man. Just like little phrases, but you change them ever so slightly just to spin them with your mates, mate. It's funny.
I actually got to use the fucking actual saying for that the other day. Weapons firing, weapon stops. I'm looking at the cocking handle. My daughter's just done a fucking weapon handling test at cadets.
Yeah, man.
She come back on the Saturday. She's like, "Oh yeah, I've got to play with the SA80, Dad. Oh, it's fucking mega." Well, she didn't sweat. Well, she probably did sweat. To be fair, it's my youngest. And she's like, "Oh yeah, it's fucking wild." But I kind of need to practice. And I was like, I just grabbed a fucking random rifle that I had lying around. I was like, "Oh, I'll just pretend that's it," you know. And then when she was like, I was like, weapons firing, weapons stop. So I'm looking at the conquer handle. You see that it's fully forward.
Yeah, man.
Oh yeah.
Eventually, Stretch, we want to, when we eventually get a studio, the first thing we're going to do when we have someone on a podcast is you walk into the studio, there's going to be an SA-80 on the floor with a magazine on, safety catcher. Take control of the weapon, and then it's a Walts test. You've got to take control of the weapon and do...
Walts test. I love it.
Yeah.
Take control of the weapon. If someone grabs their dick, mate, like they win.
Yeah.
Honestly, that was
the podcast.
Yeah, we can get
I don't know how that works.
You can buy replica metal SA-80s, like fully replicas. I got an old one the other day in the mint. Same weight, the lot. They're fucking brilliant. You would never know.
Yeah.
How much was it?
I think he paid about 800 quid.
Ooh, that's
We'll get a replica.
I want one.
That is the Walt limited test. It's funny. We did discuss it. The way you explained it, I completely forgot about it. So it was a brand new Dits to me. But
it doesn't really work over Discord. So it's got to be an in-person sort of thing.
Just get scribed in the side of it, private mitty buster.
Oh. So I am aware of the time, Ricky. Do you need to fucking bounce? Yeah. So we'll probably wrap up the podcast there. Us fucking three will have a chat while Ricky fucks off.
Sorry, boys. Sorry. It's just the way it is. I'm at work, but at least I made it.
Yeah, that's good.
There you go.
No, it's good to see you, dude.
If you enjoyed the podcast, press like and subscribe. If you're listening on Spotify, jump on YouTube and just press like and subscribe anyway. And if you want a part 2, then just drop a comment.
Yeah, I think we should get a part 2 because we didn't really get to cover a lot. We went on our own little rant and didn't actually ask any of the fucking. Let you spin any of your own Dits.
Dits, and we don't even know how you feel about the army or anything, so we'll have to find out next time.
Yeah. We need a part 2, mate. We'll have part 2 in a few weeks.
I've got beard written on my list as well.
Yeah, we'll have a part 2 definitely.
One man army next week.
Yes.
Yep, nice one.
Yeah. Oh, I love him.
There we go.
Right.
Yeah, man.
Cheers, man.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.